The 1963 Corvette Stingray was like nothing else you've ever seen come out of Detroit. This car would literally turn heads as it drove down the street. It was beautiful, innovative, and hated by Duntov. You see, Z06 Duntov was an engineer, a form follows function kind of guy. Make the car work, then let's make it look good. However, Bill Mitchell, Harley Earl's successor and new chief designer at GM, was more of a function follows form kind of guy. Here's what the car looks like, make your technology fit if you can. So naturally, they clashed on more than one occasion. Duntov knew that if the Corvette was to achieve the next level and truly compete against the road sports cars, the Corvette had to be mid-engine. But Mitchell wasn't concerned about that aspect of the car. As GM's chief designer, Mitchell had way more clout than Duntov, so it was design over engineering, or function following form. Don't get us wrong, Duntov had a huge influence on the mechanical aspects of the Corvette, from the four-wheel independent suspension to the optional fuel injection system. But if he had his way completely, the Corvette would have been a completely different car as we know it. To see a full in-depth story on Z06 Duntov and the mid-engine Corvette, click on this link in the upper right-hand corner. In spite of the design challenges Duntov faced with the Corvette, he had a few irons in the fire concerning performance. In 1962, Ford withdrew from the AMA ban on racing, which prompted Chevrolet to give the green light to Duntov to develop the Grand Sport, a full-blown race version of the '63 Stingray. However, the upper brass at GM found out and ordered Duntov to cancel the program, but he continued to develop the car in secret. That'll probably be a video all by itself at some point. The real news was there was a new RPO option out there for would-be racers, the Z06. This option code was known as a special equipment package, but it wasn't exactly public knowledge. Average Joe knew nothing about it, but if you ask your dealer to sell you option code Z06, you were getting pretty much a ready-to-go race car. This car was the culmination of everything Team Corvette gathered from the mid-50s on. All of what they learned getting ready for Sebring went into this car. The main focus of the Z06 was once again brakes and suspension. Each Z06 came equipped with oversized drum brakes with Cerametallics linings on all four corners and brake cooling ducts directing air through the backing plates. The master cylinder was a dual circuit unit for increased safety. The suspension was beefed up with heavy-duty springs and shocks and a 20% larger front anti-roll bar. Power came from a 360 horsepower L84 fuel-injected 327 engine, close ratio 4-speed transmission, and a posi rear end. A 36.5-gallon fuel tank was offered as a standard in the beginning, but became an option shortly after introduction. There were 199 Z06 Corvettes produced. The new Z06 didn't disappoint on the track. In fact, the first three were sent to Mickey Thompson, to which they were entered in the 1962 Grand Prix at Riverside and won. However, with all of the success of the Z06, the option code was canceled for the 1964 model year, although all of the Z06 components were still available separately. Over the years, the Corvette continued to grow and evolve as a street car as well as a race car. People like Dick Goldstrand, Bob Bondurant, and John Greenwood kept the Corvette at the forefront of racing. As a street car, the third-gen car struggled in the 1970s, but began a comeback in the 80s and 90s with the fourth-gen Corvette.